you've got yourself a BetaFPV Meteor75, and it's a brilliant little drone. It's a 1S digital tiny, or whoop, that's tiny. Sorry, Jesse. But you've got a problem with it. It's got loads of jello and you just don't know how to fix it. And added to that, the O4 Lite is a nice system, cheap, light, but that field of view, it's just a little bit too narrow, isn't it? Well, don't worry, because today I'm going to show you that, first of all, Flywoo have released this kit. And there we go. This kit genuinely fixes the majority of the issues I've got with the O4 Lite and makes it a really usable system. Now, it's not perfect, and we'll go through the details as to why it's not perfect, but it's super cheap and it really does make this way more useful. However, let's first of all deal with getting the drone in the right place. Let's first of all deal with the jello problems. Now, when you receive your Meteor75, it's going to come with these props. Now, these are part of the problem as to why people are getting jello. To roll back a little bit, I borrowed only drones as Meteor75 at Christmas. I did a review of it. There was no jello, and I recommended it because I think as a 1S, I think it's currently the only 1S whoop that's tiny, that's in a bind and fly, that you can just bind and fly. However, I then got messages from BetaFPV, I got messages from people that bought them saying, look, I've got loads of jello, what am I supposed to do? And I was a bit confused because I flew it in the winter, in the cold, in the wind, and there was no problems. So I said to BetaFPV, send me one for myself and I'll have a look and see if I can recreate the jello problems that people are having. And lo and behold, would you know it, the one that they sent me had really, really bad jello, like I've never seen before. So we checked the ESC first of all, and this is going to be your first point of note, and I'll put this on the screen. We checked the ESC first of all to make sure that it's set to 48 kilohertz, because the jello was so bad, I was convinced that it wasn't. Anyway, it was. So the next thing we did is we moved on and replaced the props with these HQ 45mm by 3s. I'll leave a link in the description to the specific ones because it's a very generic name and you need to get these exact props. These will remove the majority of your jello, but Only Drones has replaced his with these and he's still got jello. So I looked at a further solution, and mine, to be fair, with just these props on, still had jello. I looked at a further solution and I found this 3D printed canopy. So this replaces the original that you get with the BetaFPV Meteor. Now you're going to need a couple of things. And part of the reason why I've introduced this bad boy into the video is when you're ordering one of these, and I really do recommend that you do order one of these, you also need to order a Flywoo camera shell as well. So if we look at this, in comparison to the, and I'll put in the corner now, the Femto video that I did. So the Meteor uses the same sort of camera connector harness, whatever you want to call it, as the Femto does. And that's not compatible with this 3D print. So you need one of these Flywoo camera shells. I think they're about 99p. You can 3D print one, but you are going to need the locking up mechanism and stuff. So I would just order one when you're ordering the wide angle lens, because you are going to want to order that wide angle lens. So you obviously need to remove the BetaFPV one, and it's very simple. I didn't actually film it, so forgive me on that, but it is very simple. It's just 4 sort of rubberized gummies. And if you go to my Femto video, I show you how to put it together. So all you need to do is get to the end of the bit where I show you how to put it together and just play the video in reverse and I'll show you how to take it apart. So once you've done that, you need to then get yourself this 3D print. And again, I'm going to put a link in the description down below now, and I'll put it on the screen as well. If you don't have a 3D printer, there are people on eBay that will print this for you. It's not a lot of material. I can't imagine many people charging more than a couple of quid, couple of dollars, couple of euros. It really isn't a lot of material whatsoever. Once you've got that, and you've got this, and you've replaced your props, and you've put the Flywoo camera shell on, it's now time to put it back together. So, first of all, have a look and find where your arrow on your flight controller is, because that's where the front's going to be, and that's where you're going to want to put the camera facing that way. Secondly, what you're going to need to do is just line up the O4 Lite. Now, I did also get the Flywoo, and if I can put a picture of it on screen on this, I will. The Flywoo aluminum housing for the O4 Lite. Unfortunately, it sadly didn't fit because of this big plug here. So I tried it in a few different ways, and it just wasn't worth the hassle and the stress of trying to make it fit. So I didn't. Also, realistically, on a drone that's only a 1S, you're going to want to save as much weight as possible, and we are going to be inducing extra weight by adding this thing onto it later. So I've removed the antenna and I've removed all the screws. The first thing we're going to want to do is grab our 3D print, and then you're going to want to go in from the underside for cable management reasons, and then we'll screw the screws back in again. And the good thing is the screws and everything that you've taken out of the Meteor originally can all be repurposed for this, so you don't need to worry too much. Okay, so line up this. Make sure this cable is under here like this, and then grab your antenna. Your antenna is going to go through here like this, and then down to the bottom. I would recommend you attach the antenna now, rather than once you've screwed everything in, because it's not impossible, but it's a bit more difficult to get to. So again, we're looking for the arrow, just to make sure we've got everything right. And now it's just a case of making sure everything is in the right position and the right place, and popping these screws back in. And we're done. And I guarantee you now, you have a jello-free BetaFPV Meteor75. Brilliant. Now, let's make it even better. So we'll grab this kit from Flywoo. Now in here, it also comes with ND filters. They are very, very fragile, so do be really careful with them and make sure you keep them nice and clean as well. Because I'm going to explain to you now how this works. So this is the wide angle adapter. As you can see, there is another piece of glass in here. Now, like I said, this is not a perfect solution. So what will happen is this glass, essentially, it's like a Fresnel lens. So it will bend the angle of the lens that you've already got in there. And it makes it from really narrow to lovely and wide. Now, there's a few different versions. For this, I think this is probably going to be the best bet, but there are actual camera ones where you actually clip this inside it and then you just slide it off, rather than having something that slides over like this. But if I show you from this angle, what you do is you just sort of push it down the side like that. And then push it in as much as you can. Be very careful with it because it's easy to break that. And it eventually will stop. Now, there is a problem. And that is, this is white on the inside. You've got one piece of glass. So you've got a piece of glass on the O4. You've got a piece of glass here, extending that lens out using a bit of trickery, jiggery pokery. And when you add an ND filter on, you've got another piece of glass. And what happens is when the sun is hitting it directly, you'll actually see these white bits in your lens. Now, it's not horrific, it's not horrendous, and it's not in all circumstances, but I think when Flywoo make a version 2 of this, if they make it black on the inside, it'll probably resolve all those problems. The other issue is, like I say, these things are super fragile. As you can see, they're very, very thin. And what you do to put it in is you just slide it in between there like that until it's at one end, and then it'll just drop in at the other end, and away you go. And now you've got yourself an O4 Lite with an ND filter and a 155-degree angle. Now, what we're going to do is we'll show you a few clips of the differences of how it looks. Like I say, because we're introducing that many that many extra pieces of glass to the image, you will notice that it is a slightly softer image than what you had originally. Now, for some people, that's not a problem because a lot of people think that the O4 Lite is far too sharp as it is. So bear that in mind. But we'll show you a few examples and you can decide for yourself. Now, it's a bit of an extreme test because we are in a relatively small environment here. And we'll take it out into the field and we'll have a look at some sort of shots outside. But that gives you an idea as to what it looks like with and without, and we can compare the two on the screen now. Overall, however, I would highly recommend this because to be able to have an ND filter, a 155-degree angle, and of course the improvements we've made to the Meteor75 to ensure that it's completely jello free, this becomes a completely different beast. A completely different beast.